Yellow! The two primers that The Ordinary has released, and the two primers that have completely changed the makeup game, are the High Adherence Silicone Primer. So this one I would target more towards oily skin peeps. And then there's the High Spreadability Fluid Primer, and this one I would target more towards maybe like dry combination skin. I am putting these two primers to the test. I'm going to apply one to one side of my face and the other to the other side, and we are going to see if there is a difference within the two, and if there is a difference, what is that difference? Don't know if I'm making sense. The first primer I'm going to talk about is the primer that I have been reaching out for the most since I've kind of been introduced to it, and that is the High Adherence Silicone Primer. For somebody like me who is extremely oily, I'm not dry, I'm talking about waterfall oily, I tend to reach out for more silicone based primers because they fill the pores and they kind of like have like this blockage to stop like your oils from kind of like release, like coming out and spreading your foundation around. So what does The Ordinary claim that the High Adherence Silicone Primer does? It uses silicones to act as a matte blurring primer for makeup. This primer specifically will adhere longer. So by that it means the foundation will stick faster and it will give your foundation, like your makeup application, like whatever you have going on your face, like a longer longevity. Yeah, that makes sense. It will also reduce the look of pores and any imperfections you've got going on your face. So basically what it's saying by that is it will kind of like smoothen out your skin tone, and I've noticed with this, because I do have very acne prone skin, whenever I do have a pimple, it kind of like just like smooths it out and foundation is gliding, like it glides easier over it. How much is The Ordinary charging for their High Adherence Silicone Primer? Like every primer that is sold at Sephora, that is sold at Shoppers Drug Mart, that is sold at Ulta, that is sold anywhere where you will find makeup, majority primers will come with the average 30 milliliters, so obviously the 1 fluid ounce. But girly, The Ordinary, oh my god, I can't even, like every time I talk about the price, it's just like my brain like flips up, like flips around in my head. The Ordinary is charging only $4.90 for this silicone based primer. That is literally lemonade stand change. That is couch change. That is pocket change. That is nothing. Literally so many products, like so many primers at Sephora are charging amounts that I can't even like put down for a silicone based primer, and this is not even $5. The other primer that The Ordinary provides for the more dry to combination skin peeps is the High Spreadability Fluid Primer. So what does The Ordinary claim that the High Spreadability Fluid Primer does? This primer specifically will help avoid any unnatural or uneven pigments to dry skin. So in other words, this will kind of like even out your skin tone and kind of help with any discoloration. Which, girl, I also have. Like, I am a red over here, I am beige over here, I am pink over here, so yeah, I kind of need that too. Because this primer is a little more fluid based, it will act as a like lightweight, non-oily hydrator. So for those who do have dry skin, I think you're gonna get many benefits out of this. It's gonna provide you with like a natural glow. It's gonna hydrate your skin. It's gonna elongate, I think that's a word, your makeup application. So how much is The Ordinary charging for this primer? Like I said, just like any ordinary, well, I mean not like the brand Ordinary, just like any generic general primer, you are getting 30 milliliters of product, once again 1 fluid ounce. And for the 1 fluid ounce that you are getting, The Ordinary is only charging $7.90. Yes, this primer is just a little more pricey than the High Adherence Silicone Primer. Obviously, girl, I'm not talking about like $60 extra. It's only like maybe like $2-3 extra. But still, that is nothing. That is literally like 2 Hershey chocolates. You know what I mean? So now that I finally stopped talking out of my ass, let me apply these on my face and you can kind of see like what they both do. On my right side, I will apply the fluid primer, and on my left side, I will apply the silicone primer. Now that the fluid primer is on my right side, I will take the silicone primer and I will slather it all over my left side. This is the closest that the lens is letting me get. The first difference that I could see right away looking in my little mirror is that I am a little more matte on this side, so the silicone side, and I am a little more, I'm not going to say glowy, but a little more radiant on the fluid side. Both primers did a really good job at kind of like smoothing out my surface and blurring all my pores and imperfections. I still have like my acne scarring kind of like visible, whereas this side, like, sure, it's visible as well, but it's a little more toned down, I'm gonna say. Both primers kind of have like the tacky feeling. I hate that freaking word tacky, but like that sticky feeling. Like, now that you kind of got to see how both primers like perform on the skin, I thought it would only be fair if I went in with the Ordinary Serum Foundation and applied it to my skin and maybe saw how this works with both primers. I'm gonna give this foundation just a good shake so all the product is distributed all throughout like the little tube, and to make sure like nothing's sunken at the bottom. Do I want a little more? No, I think I'll be okay. Using my NYX 04 foundation brush, I am going to spread the product evenly all throughout my face to fill it in and make sure that we are good to go clubbing tonight, even though I'm kidding, I don't go clubbing. This foundation is just a little yellow for me, but I always try and match my neck to my face. I do have very olive skin just because I am Eastern European, so, or maybe I just need a tan. Disclaimer, I have to get my eyebrows done and I do have a unibrow right now, so let's quickly just cover that up a little bit. So this is how my face looks with the foundation and the primers. The one thing I will say about the fluid primer was it was a little more harder to blend out the foundation, just because, I said it before, the fluid primer isn't very like fluidy, it's a little more gel consistency like, and I think it was like, it took a little more force for me to push my brush in the foundation. The foundation does a really good job at blurring out my skin tone. Yes, I do have very acne prone skin. Yes, I have oily skin. Yes, I have hyperpigmentation. I have redness. Girl, I have it all. The primer and the foundation together, I mean both primers, like in general, do a really good job at kind of like covering all that and evening out my skin tone. I will be right back. I am going to apply the rest of my makeup, girl, from highlight, bronze, shadows. No, I'm not wearing false lashes today, but I will be right back so that way you guys can kind of see like how both primers work with the foundation and the additional layers of makeup. I will be right back. So now that we are back, now that I have applied all the bronzer, all the glitters, the eyeshadow, the lips, everything applied very smoothly on both sides, I will say that. I will zoom you guys in now that you can kind of like see how my skin looks with the additional layers of makeup and how well these performed with all that makeup. So let me begin with my forehead. Right away we could see that the center of my forehead is not glowing, but it is radiant and healthy looking. Okay, let's get to the rest of the face. I noticed that I was given a little bit of a glow to the fluid side. And I'm not just saying that because that's what it claimed to do, but I was like moving my face around in the mirror and I was like, okay, like it looks healthy. It doesn't look dewy, it looks healthy. Aside from me putting highlighter on the tops of my cheekbones, you could tell that around like my mouth area and like closer to my nose, it is very controlled. And by that I mean like the oil is controlled, it's matte. It wasn't really like dewy necessarily, but it was very like blurred. In like my T-zone area, it is very like the more I move my face, the more you kind of get like a little inner glow going on. I absolutely freaking love both primers. Although the fluid primer is targeted more for dry skin and it's supposed to kind of give you like a glowing radiance. I don't really mind that because I have tried this before and it gives you that natural radiance, so it's not like it's gonna accentuate like the oils coming out of my skin. And I absolutely love the silicone primer, obviously, because it blurs the skin so pretty and it just makes it look like a hole. This primer, on the other hand, the fluid one, gives you a natural glow. It claimed to do that, and I think it did that really well. So the main claim for the silicone primer was that it was supposed to blur and mattify. I agree with the blurring. I feel like my pores are very like blurred and it's not like that evident. The foundation just layered on so perfectly with these two primers, even though they are different like formulas, they still worked very well with the Serum foundation. That's all I kind of have to say for this video. I will talk to anybody who's watching this, if anybody's ever watching my videos, I know I continue to say that, but like, yeah. Anyways guys, I will talk to you guys in the next video. TTYLs.